Bond visits the grave of his friends Vesper Lynd. Suddenly a bomb explodes on his face. After the explosion, Bond is shaken but unharmed. His training and experience in dealing with dangerous situations allow him to quickly regain his composure and find himself spotted at a bridge, where he's been shot. And see a car drove behind him, and he quickly escaped and starting to run. But a motorcycle came over. Bond finds himself trapped on the bridge, with a car and a motorcyclist closing in on him from both sides. The situation looks dire as the attackers advance. Bond grabs a cord and swiftly uses it to swing himself off the bridge, performing a daring escape. This quick maneuver takes his pursuers by surprise and allows him to avoid the immediate threat. Landing safely, Bond quickly regains his footing. The chase culminates in a duel-like fight between Bond and Primo. This is a tense and brutal hand-to-hand combat scene. Primo, equipped with a cybernetic eye that provides him with enhanced abilities, proves to be a formidable opponent. However, Bond's superior fighting skills and experience ultimately give him the upper hand. While choking Primo, Bond demands answers. He asks Primo who is behind the attacks and what their motives are. Primo, defiant at first, eventually reveals key information that the mastermind behind the plot is Lucifer Safin. After extracting the necessary information, he forcefully hits Primo's head against a wall and killing him. He takes Primo's motorcycle, a powerful and fast vehicle that allows him to navigate through the city swiftly. Bond's destination is Madeleine Swan, who is in danger. Bond finally reaches Madeleine and Bond knows that they must leave immediately to avoid further danger, as Safin's men are likely still pursuing them. Bond and Madeleine quickly prepare to leave, but Safin's men are right behind them, launching an intense car chase through the narrow streets of Matera. The chase is fast-paced and thrilling. Bond uses his exceptional driving skills to navigate through tight corners, narrow alleys, and crowded streets, trying to put distance between them and their pursuers. Suddenly, Bond brings his car to a halt in the middle of the street. Safin's men surround the car and start shouting, demanding Bond and Madeleine surrender. Inside the car, the atmosphere is charged. Bond seems momentarily frozen, staring ahead with a mix of anger and frustration. Madeleine, sitting beside him, is terrified and desperate for action. Bond's frustration isn't just with the situation, but also with the perceived betrayal by Madeleine. Bond snaps back into action. He quickly assesses the situation and decides to use the DB5's gadgets. The machine guns mow down several of Safin's men. Bond also uses the car's smokescreen to create confusion. After that, Bond confronts Madeleine. He demands to know if she betrayed him. Bond decides to take Madeleine to the train station, believing it's the safest option for her, and also because he's unsure if he can trust her. Madeleine, with tears in her eyes, boards the train. Safin's men, expertly trained and equipped with advanced technology, manage to bypass the lab's exterior security. They use specialized devices to disable alarms and surveillance cameras, moving stealthily through the facility. The team reaches the main laboratory area where the Heracles Project, a bioweapon capable of targeting specific DNA sequences, is being developed. With the Heracles Project secured, Safin's men initiate their escape plan. They set off a series of controlled explosions to create chaos and cover their retreat. The explosions cause significant damage to the facility, further distracting any potential responders. James Bond, living a peaceful, secluded life in Jamaica. Felix Leiter, Bond's old friend and CIA operative. Felix explains that the CIA needs Bond's expertise as Bond is organizing his equipment and planning his next steps. Nomi, visit him too. The new 007. Standing there, Nomi, a skilled and highly capable MI6 agent, has been assigned the 007 codename in Bond's absence. Bond and Paloma arrive at the lavish party, which is filled with high-profile guests and heavily guarded. Under threat, Obruchev activates the gas release mechanism in the laboratory. This gas is a key component of the Heracles weapon system. The release is methodical, involving the activation of complex systems designed to disperse the gas over a wide area. As the gas begins to spread, the scene becomes chaotic. The gas is a deadly chemical agent designed to target specific DNA sequences, making it particularly dangerous and lethal. The laboratory fills with a noxious, greenish gas, creating a tense and hazardous environment. The released gas poses an immediate threat to anyone exposed to it. Staff and security personnel in the lab are caught off guard and are at risk of being incapacitated. Bond confronts Obruchev, who is in a state of panic and desperation. Bond caught the Obruchev. As Bond and Obruchev attempt to make their escape, they are attacked by Safin's operatives. A fierce fight ensues, with Bond using his combat skills to fend off the attackers while trying to protect Obruchev. The scene is intense, with hand-to-hand combat and gunfire adding to the tension. And Paloma was find herself surrounded by Safin's men, engaging with hand-to-hand fight and gunfire. She uses his superior combat skills to subdue them and manages to beat them and shot them. And she run quickly to her car and drive right to Obruchev that was about to escape from Bond's sit, but she see him and stop the car right before him and help Bond catch him. Bond brings Obruchev to Felix, who greets Bond with a mix of gratitude and urgency. Felix and Bond begin to interrogate Obruchev to extract critical information about Safin's plans. Suddenly, a betrayal is revealed. Logan Ash, a CIA operative who is thought to be an ally, turns on Bond and Felix. He has been working with Safin's organization all along. Ash orchestrates a surprise attack, aiming to recapture Obruchev and eliminate Bond and Felix. The vessel erupts in chaos as Ash and his men launch their assault. Bond and Felix are caught off guard. During the struggle, Felix is gravely injured. The situation becomes dire as the vessel starts to sustain damage and take on water. Felix, gravely injured and knowing his fate is sealed, entrusts Bond with the mission's success. Bond escapes the sinking vessel, but the loss of Felix weighs heavily on him. The betrayal and the death of his friend add a personal dimension to Bond's determination to stop Safin and his deadly plan.